Hello, I'm Debbie Bell Hosking for Finextra TV here at Cybos in London, and we're talking about, is identity bigger than payments? And joining me is Alessandro Baroni of equensWorldline. Hello.
Hello, Debbie.
First question is, what is the current issue with online identity and the way it's organized?
Well, there's a few issues. First issue is about the technologies that are used per se, which is a bit outdated. If you think of static questions, if you look at passwords and PINs, this is proving to be relatively easy to bridge. So there's a cybercrime issue that is being raised around it. There's a point in convenience as well for consumers. You need to remember all of these PINs and passwords, and this is also connected to a certain drop rate that e-commerce and online merchants are actually raising. And thirdly, if you look at what is the real scope of what we're trying to prove, we say we're trying to prove the identity. Actually, we're trying to prove real attributes that would qualify a transaction, not necessarily a payment, but an online transaction to happen. And this transaction can be originated not only by an individual, it can be originated by a robot or by a service or by a software. So this is the perspective that we need to use to qualify the problem of or the issues around digital identity nowadays, I would say.
And what is meant by a federated system?
Well, a federated system is an idea that we're trying to promote, which is around, instead of having a single company or a single institution that is, in a way, owning and providing a single proof of identity, what we're trying to see or to formulate as a concept is, as you correctly said, a federated system where you have providers and institutions from different industries. You can think about the banks, but you can think about telcos. You can think of Facebook and Google, and actually create a model that would look like a four-corner model that we are very familiar with in payments, to actually release an identity service, which is not that different at the end of the day than a payment transaction when you think of the technology and the protocols that are behind it.
So then, how do you identify people and things?
Well, that is a situation that we have to become familiar with, if you wish, in the sense that now, in most of the cases, it's us individuals trying to get online and authenticate ourselves. But what we need to think of is systems and protocols and technology that would enable a robot, or, as I said, a software to access a secure environment, because that software is trying to initiate a payment transaction or is trying to connect to a connected device that I am using, or potentially, being a bit visionary, is trying to access a car to drive me to work without me driving in the future.
And would you say there's a role for the financial services in the future of identity?
Well, I think there is, very much. Because provided that there will be many players of many industries that will provide e-identity services. I mean, we have the reality of Facebook sign-on and Google sign-on. That works. I think the banks are a bit underestimating the potential of assets that they actually have in-house. If you think of all the assets that are around KYC compliance, these are used now primarily for compliant purposes, so they become only a cost. But around that, there's a lot of security features that are recognized by the market, that are perceived to be trustworthy even by consumers, that are not rendered as a service. And this is where the potential, in our view, is, with the banks being able to deploy those assets together with our industries in a federated system, trying to, at the end of the day, improve the security and the convenience, especially for consumers.
So in your opinion, is identity big business?
Well, it is big business. There's a very simple statement you can put in front of that, which is people nowadays authenticate online for whatever reason a lot more frequently than they would initiate a payment online. So just the number of transactions and interactions, and that would constitute an hypothetical revenue pool for that is much bigger even than potential payments.
Alessandro, thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's been really interesting exploring the world of identity with you. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.